this video is just mostly about buyer beware with SCT. Hey everybody, Matt here with Hollywood's Garage. Want to warn you or talk to you about SCT. So a little bit of backstory here. I bought a 2008 F350 6.4 liter diesel. Bought it used, obviously. Higher kilometers. I mean, that doesn't really matter, but regardless. So I bought an SCT tuner because I wanted to get a delete tune for my truck. I live in Canada, so we're allowed to do that. So I bought an SCT Livewire TS Plus. Got a custom tune for it, for the delete, and add a shift on the fly 5-position switch. So I can go from 0 horsepower with the delete up to like 250 or 300 or something on max level. So I bought the tuner brand new from a reputable company in my province in Canada here. Great guys, actually. They worked out great for me. They tried to help me as much as they could too. Bought it, downloaded the software program, the Derive program they use for uploading and downloading and just updating the software on the handheld. Did all that. Uploaded the custom tune I got. So I go to the truck, install it, or OBD2 plugin. Started going through the prompt of the tuner. It tells you to pick a tune you want. I went for my custom one because I'm trying to get my EGR and my emissions all deleted so that it doesn't go through that regen mode or nothing like that. Ended up doing the first key cycle so it could upload the factory tune to the device. So it would go about halfway through the gauge, I should say, like the little bar graph they have. I don't know, like that, and get to like half. It'd kind of vary in levels. But anyway, it'd get to a certain point and it would back out with a 110B as in Bob 8 code. And then, okay, like as a newbie kind of type thing, you scan for codes. Okay, a code came up. It was an error with connecting with the TCU, the transmission control unit. Okay, so you delete the code, you try again, uploading the factory tune, going through the process of downloading the tune. Go through the process again, you get so far in that bar graph, kicks you out with that 110B8 code. So I tow the truck. The truck still runs at this point. It's just obviously in limp mode because the emissions are all disconnected and the EGR valves removed, right? So I limp the truck over to Ford. They look at it. And even the head tech there's like, he couldn't get the tune to work either, and it wouldn't upload. It would keep backing out. And he's like, I don't think it's the TCU. He's like, these SCTs are an issue. And I'm like, well, what do you mean, right? Like, it can't be. They got a pretty big name. People, I've never heard any bad things, unless you have a low voltage issue. So to go back, when I was trying to upload and download the device, I always had a battery charger hooked up, a 30 amp charger. So I was always at 14 volts, right? Like it's above 12. So in my mind, I'm like, can't go wrong. So he tried it. So I ended up putting a new TCU in the truck, thinking that's what's blocking it because I bought the truck used. I've never driven it. So I don't know, maybe it was garbage. They put it in there. They were able to update a little bit to they had to do an update to the instrument cluster. So that obviously the TCU took. They try uploading again, same issue. So instead of them trying to deal with talking and going on hold and waiting for a call back with SCT, I took it home. I thought I'd do it myself. So I get on the phone. Of course they call you when you're at work, right? You need to be with your laptop. You need to be with your unit, your handheld live wire unit, so they can update, check it, see what's going on. So anyway, the next day comes around. It was like 2 days later, finally able to, get home in time to be able to call. Got on the phone around 1 o'clock our time, PM. They called me back. It was on, and I ended up spending 4 hours with this online tech. This gentleman was awesome to deal with. He really tried his best. So we got as far as by figuring out the key cycle, being a quick key cycle, not a fast one, which he heard the 6 liters are bad for, but the 6.4s, I guess, are the same computer that the 6 liters use. They just jammed a bunch more emissions crap in them, so like it would make them glitchier in a way, I guess, if it sounds right. So we got to the point where we were able to upload the factory tune. Now doing the next step, which is downloading the custom tune. Go to download, got like 80% through, and it crashed. It got to a 110D as in dog 8 code. which is download failure. And then it bricks your computer. Your computer is still, what it does, it takes your factory tune, uploads it, and then erases the factory tune, ECM, and then downloads its new tune. It got about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, and it crashed. So it had no data. And then your PATS, passive anti-theft system, would go off, and you can try to start the truck and nothing happens, and the little key and the lock light flashes on you, and it's almost like you're trying to hotwire the key or the truck with no chip key, right? Like it won't do nothing. Hook up a scanner, try to read codes or whatever to the truck, and had no communication with the ECM. ECM was wiped clean. So they told me, oh, this has never happened before. Take it to Ford, tell them just all your modules are good, don't replace modules. Just get them to upload the factory tune back to factory for that truck, as they found remnants of an old tune or something like that when they uploaded the factory one. So maybe had an H&S tuner before, and H&S is kind of leaves a little trail behind when they're done. And I guess the SCT, they figured didn't like that. Take it to Ford. They took them like a couple tries to be able to put the factory tune back on. They weren't getting connection with the program that they use. Finally got it done. Got the truck running again. Still obviously not. It was physically deleted, but not deleted in the computer, right? So still limp mode. Drove it back home. First thing I did was hook up the battery, my battery tender charger, 30 amp. Hooked it up there and tried downloading again. Figured out that quick key cycle gets me through that upload of the factory tune. Got through that, and guess what happened? It bricked again on trying to download the custom tune. Great. So this time I'm like, well, I'm just tired at this point. So I ended up calling a guy on Facebook that has the factory, has the program that Ford uses to, set to reset modules, code reading, like maybe even, almost like able to change your tire size and all that. So he's got that program that Ford used to upload the factory serial number tune to the factory computer. He comes over, he tries to hook up to the OBD2. He couldn't even, it wouldn't connect to the ECM. It reads nothing there. I couldn't hook it up. So there's one step where you can pull the ECM out. There's a code on it to kind of look it up and force the tune on to the computer. We did that. He tried two different, which are called dongles, which pretty much plug into your OBD2. Two different systems, and it still wouldn't take it. The truck was, again, bricked out. It wouldn't start, nothing. Nothing on the ECM. Code reader, nothing would pick nothing up. It says no communication. So at this point, I'm like, well, what the hell? And then, so SCT actually refunded me for the first bricking that Ford had to put the factory tune back on. So they were great. They paid me the next day. Once you showed them the receipt, they sent me money to my Visa, because I guess in Canada, they can't send money check. They send it, pay on your Visa type thing, which actually worked out because that's how I paid for it. But they're like, yeah, we're not paying for this one. There must be something wrong with the truck at this point. Because we tried everything. We tried taking fuses for the glow plugs, blah, blah, blah. We tried everything. So I had everything off in the truck too. Stereo, climate control, everything. Lights. I was sat in the truck the whole time, so the dome light wouldn't even go on. At this point, I'm like, this is above me now. I'm a fixed mechanical type guy, small electrical here and there, but this is above my knowledge. Get the truck towed to a diesel shop, got it in there, and they ended up going through 2 used ECMs to try to make my truck work. They put the first one in, got it to finally read, put the factory tune on that, because you can buy any used one as long as it's not a broken unit per se. You can use a used one off another 6.4 liter diesel, put it in, put your VIN in there and all your stuff that's supposed to be with the truck, and it'll work. Got it in there, go to use the SCT live wire again, because they're like, we'll give it a try, and it bricked that one again on their hands. So they had another used ECM, they put it in, and this time they ended up using Lynk, which is Lynk if they use their wireless dongle, and it's like a cloud-based programming, but that system forces the tune into the truck. It's not worried about voltage drops, it's not worried about anything like that. It just forces it, and almost instead of taking your factory tune and downloading a new one, it keeps your factory on the computer, and it puts a little post-it note above the tune changes that it wants to do. So it doesn't need to upload the factory. So they were able to get that to work. Boom, truck starts up. I got power, there's no limp mode. Great, works great. So now SCT, to me, I bought this $1,100 unit being like, oh, it's a downloader, it's got gauges, what else do you need, right? So to me now, it's just a gauge system, which you can buy for $500 instead of paying $1,000, because I didn't need the tuner part of it anymore. So lesson learned there. So the guy at the diesel shop told me the problem with SCT, HNS, sorry, I should say, HNS, SCT, and Edge is they upload the factory tune and they force on their tune. Well, HNS forces, Edge forces, but Livewire, being in partnership with Ford in a way, like they use Ford's programming and software to do their tunes. If they see more than a half a volt changed through the upload or download system, programming of like trying to upload or download a tune, it crashes. And I guess with these 6.4 liters, the 2008, 2010 Super Duties, is they're just prone for that. They're just prone to have voltage change. It could be even at a 0.8, and that'll spike too much, and it'll drop the tune, which bricks your truck, bricks whatever you're trying to do, right? Like you're sitting there. So like imagine finally getting the SCT to finally work, and then you go to change a tune later on, and say you're, I don't know, 2 hours away from home or whatever, and you go to change it, and it bricks in the middle of nowhere. Like that's kind of, that would suck, right? Like that, you're left in the middle of nowhere. With a tuner that you spent a lot of money on that didn't do its job. It's just bricking your truck. Lesson learned there. So if you're looking for a tuner, and even one that you can keep using like a cloud-based system where you can just use your phone connect to and your Wi-Fi or your phone like cellular, you can download tunes, you can change tunes. A guy can dial in on your phone almost and like over and go into your tune of your truck and actually like start setting things and changing things. If you're like, oh, something's going on with my turbo, you go boom, boom, boom. He's like, oh, the tune looks good, but have you tried this? And like, it's almost like having a mechanic 24/7, not 24/7, but like to help you out virtually. So EasyLink to me is the way to go. And then same thing, it's the 5 switch shift on the fly switch. So you go from 0 horse up to 300. And then you can either do it by buying the wireless dongle and doing it yourself, or you could, like this shop ended up having using theirs, and they just downloaded the program. Ended up being like $1,000 cheaper almost type thing to do it that way, tunes on. But then you're kind of like forced to, like, if you want to change anything, which I don't think you'll have to, right? But say your transmission doesn't shift on full throttle properly because the tune just doesn't, the tune they picked for it just doesn't work with your truck. You'll have to go back to them. You have 4 weeks of free kind of like tuning to get your truck happy. Then after that, you have to pay for the unlimited package, which gives you anytime, any day, as long as you have that truck with that device still as a download. They have to not mess with it, but they help you fix whatever you want with tuning, as long as it's a tuning issue, not a hardware problem like a turbo or something, right? So lesson learned there. I wish I knew that before, and I would have bought the EasyLink to begin with, and I would have saved $4,000, you know, give or take. I would have had my truck on the road a month ago. I've had this truck for over a month, like 6 weeks, and I was finally able to drive it home yesterday with no issue on limp mode and all that. Had all the power I wanted, needed. The only thing I got to do to it now is install the shift on the fly switch, which is super simple. I can do a video on that later, no big deal. This video is just mostly about buyer beware with SCT. Just do your research. If you end up having a vehicle, because and these SC tuners will do any Ford pretty much. Like you could take this, update the software to go from my 6.4 to a Mustang. You just update and put the Mustang tunes on it, or even your custom tune, boom, you can use it. You get 5 Marys with the truck, right? Like this one has 0 on it. So it's still brand new. It's just out of the package now for a month because I've been trying to use it. So if you have any questions, concerns, or comments about SCT or even EasyLink, let me know. I'll help you out as much as I can. You can, learn through my tough times, and I can help you out so I can save a guy $1 or $2 or, thousands of dollars pretty much. So, and when they think their truck's the issue, when it's just the tuner system they use. So anyway, guys, like, comment, share. I appreciate the views and the follows, and I hope to make some more videos for you guys. See you later.